Hey guys, what's up? My name is Erin. In this video, we're gonna talk about manifesting and we're gonna talk about leveling up in this game that you're in. And I'm gonna kind of give you an overview of what I mean by this, okay? So we're gonna kind of get esoteric. So you have a higher self and you have a lower self. Your lower self is your human aspect who's playing in this game, who's believing in the game, who's seeing that it's real. From a higher self perspective, you're looking down at the game and you're looking at your human playing in the game and you're able to observe everything that's happening, all of the stories playing out. So let's talk about the different levels of the game. So we play in different levels of the game, which are what I call like lessons in a way. They are meant to help us to become more of who we were born to become. Sometimes this could look like a relationship, it could look like a job, it could look like a situation that you're in, and it has some kind of challenge for your human to play in this reality, be able to face something, to be able to retrieve a different aspect of yourself that you didn't have before, or that you've always had but was fragmented, is what I mean. So for example, there might be a situation where your human is running around in poverty mindset and maybe reflected back to you that you don't have a lot of money. You do the inner work and you anchor in what you're wanting to experience, and then eventually a shift happens and you're able to level up to the next part of your game. Sometimes the universe will make it more of a focused energy. So for example, let's say that you're wanting to focus more on healing in relationships. The universe might set you up so that you have a job already, you have job security, and now it's time to focus on relationships. Maybe your ego had the idea like, no, I'm going to do it this way. But the universe is like, no, look, you got to stay at your job right now. We're doing some healing around relationships because these relationships are going to help activate you and help you to become more of who you were born to become. They're going to unlock things within you. Okay, so another thing is the universe, a level of the game might be working at a job, and like maybe while you're at this job, it's not necessarily a bunch of healing that you're doing, but it's an unlocking of like within yourself. So for example, when I was working in the corporate world, unlocking happened within me spiritually. It was able to support me through all of the spiritual stuff I was going through. I was able to learn all of the energy healing modalities. I already knew them, but I was able to remember them by getting initiated again in this lifetime. So when I used to get sick, back when I never get sick now, but when I used to get sick, my mom used to tell me, Erin, like, put all of your energy towards resting. Don't do anything. Put it towards your immune system. And I did. And through that belief, my body was able to rest. I was able to put all my energy towards getting healthy again versus doing other things. And that really made a shift for me. And that's kind of what the universe does. The universe is like, hey, you're going to put all your energy towards this right now, and we're going to unlock this and shift this. And then once we get this, once we face this, then you can go to the next level. You can focus on other things. So sometimes we're really being focused on one area. So for example, a lot of people who want like this a little more, for those that are more quantum, those who are starseeds and want to have like a mission mate, like a partner. Or maybe it's aligned for you to have like, I don't know, like in the twin flame world, it was all like, oh, like to me, that's kind of like having a mission mate, like someone that you have some kind of mission with. And it's not always like that, okay? You can have a mission with other people that are not romantic. You can have a mission with, but then it's like the whole idea like, oh, I need someone else to be able to do this. Well, in the whole twin flame story, it's like, you make it all about the other person, but then in the whole journey, they kind of teach you like, oh, you need to start like the divine feminine of the twin flame. I don't know if you guys know about twin flames, but there's like the divine feminine and masculine, and but really we have both. And this is just like a whole nother topic, but I'm bringing this up right now that in this journey, they talk about how the one that wakes up more, that is perhaps more of holding the feminine energy and more of that awakened energy, is meant to focus on their path and their purpose, that they need to start building that. And then once they build their purpose, then an unlocking happens so that when the other one is ready, then they'll be there, they'll join. Okay, so it's about continuing to focus on your path and your purpose in that kind of journey, in that sense. So I don't know if that helps. That might have been a little random, but okay, so let's talk about some examples of different levels of the game. So, for example, for me, like a while ago, I was offered a job that was almost exactly like my other job that I had in the corporate world. And this was during a time when I was kind of worried about money. You know, I had some fear that I wouldn't be supported with making my YouTube videos, with making my podcast and writing my book and everything like that, my passion, my dreams. And I remember talking to my mentor. You know, it's good. I'm a mentor, but I also have a mentor, and he's got a mentor. Like, we all got mentors. It's good. It's a good thing. But I remember talking to my mentor, and he was telling me that the lesson of this level of the game, which I'm putting in my words, that's not how he told it, but in the lesson of the level of the game was me being afraid that I couldn't hold my energy strong enough to be at this company. It wasn't just, and then like the fear that I wouldn't be supported, the fear that I wouldn't be able to have my dream, like there was a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of different layers attached to it. But one of the big ones was I was scared that I wouldn't be strong enough energetically. And that was the resistance. That was why it was in front of me. That's why it manifested, was because I needed to have those shadows come out of me so that I could face it. Okay, so that was the level of the game. Now, let's say, you know, I faced it. In that session, I was able to face how I felt. And then I was in a place of neutrality. I wasn't telling the same story that I was telling before. I was actually looking at it and be like, this is actually an option. I'm not resisting it anymore, and I'm able to see the gift in it. I'm so thankful that there is an opportunity. Basically, I wasn't looking at it and, you know, I wasn't like, oh, this is bad, oh, this is wrong. It was like an opportunity, okay? It was an experience that I would have had, and I was able to see it from that fifth dimensional perspective, that if I was to do this, that my higher self would have had my human go through this to show my human aspect, and to unlock within me and activate within me that I am strong in my energy, and I'm strong enough to live in my field, in my world, no matter where I am, no matter where I'm working. Like, I can still be me. I can still hold my energy, and I can still be the creator of my reality. Working in a company and working in the corporate world is a great way to awaken, because I remember back when I worked before, this is exactly what happened. I realized how strong I was in my energy. I realized that no one actually was real. I was able to become so sovereign and so powerful to know that no one could mirror back to me anything that wasn't me, that wasn't my own creation. So I would have people send me tasks, and I would just delete the timelines. Like, I would just delete it from my field, and then it couldn't play out anymore. I became so strong and so powerful and so awakened to be able to like be more higher self integrated. So working in the corporate world was a level of the game for me. I remember being the master of my energy. I went into the bathroom all the time and meditated, and it wasn't always the most enjoyable meditation, but it was a good practice no matter what was, you know, going on in the other stalls. But working at that company helped me to know, like, you know, I could take whole days off if I wanted to, and I would get paid for them because I rewrote my whole story to the truth that I was there to hold love and light. I was there to learn these lessons. I wasn't here to believe in the illusion of everything playing out for me. I wasn't here to believe in these tasks that were so matrixy to me. They didn't make sense to me anymore because I had had a Kundalini awakening. And I now looked at these like marketing tasks that I used to do, and I used to be like, this doesn't have any meaning to me. Why would I want to feed this timeline? And so I pushed it away, and I didn't have to do certain tasks. I remember one girl kept sending me tasks. I can't say tasks. Kept sending me projects to work on, and I kept deleting them, and eventually she ended up getting a job somewhere else because she wasn't, you know, that ended up being her path of least resistance. That ended up being the next step for her. If she wanted something done, she could go, you know, that's the way it ended up being. Like, a lot of people ended up leaving the company too because perhaps they weren't a vibrational match to everything that I was anchoring in. I was strong enough. So anyways, that if you're in the corporate world, you know, maybe that's something you needed to hear right now, that it's a great opportunity for you to be able to actually play in this illusion, having this tornado play out in front of you and being like, none of this is real. Like the same God that flows within me also flows within them. The same God that is feeling everything with me and for me is also feeling everything with them and for them. It's not real. And it's a great way to really kind of go inwards and self-check, okay? Do the inner work. We can always make time to do it. But anyways, once I leveled up from the game and I knew how powerful I was able to stay at that job for a while. And it was actually a great job because I made it into what I wanted to experience. It was such a spiritual experience for me. It was so sacred. And I know that I anchored in so much love and light, and I healed people with my aura just wherever I was standing, whatever I was doing. And I anchored in so much love. I practiced love for everybody there. So I leveled up in the game, but my external reality didn't shift, but like the way that I got to experience where I was shifted. I got to live a magical life. I got to have everything I wanted in it, and I had financial security. So that was definitely a level of the game for me. Now think about levels of the game that you might be playing in right now. Some of us, you know, some of you might feel a little codependent and might be looking up like, how do I manifest my partner? Now this isn't meant to trigger you. This is meant to bring up things within you that's a level of your game, and it's good to honor where you're at. Be like, hey, this is something I'm working through. This is something that it doesn't identify me. It's an experience that my human is playing in this game. And once I unlock it and once I shift it, then maybe the next level for you is to be able to have your path and your purpose, or to be able to continue to live your dreams. And then someone else, some person will just end up swooping in as a cooperative component to what you are manifesting, to a piece that just naturally comes in. That's usually how it goes. When we're focused on our path and our purpose, then everything else just kind of swoops in that's meant to be there. It ends up just being a piece of the puzzle, a piece of where we're going. But anyways, yes, levels of the game are here for us. And yes, they can be so uncomfortable, but when we start to see the challenge and we start to see the gift in them, then we can understand that these are meant to help us become more of who we were born to become. And a lot of times they're past life related. I'm going to talk more about past lives, but if you haven't already and you're liking this video, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Sending everyone, I'm just so thankful. But yeah, okay, past lives. Let's get into that a little bit. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about past life stuff. So, for example, a relationship might play out for you very similar to another lifetime, and that's because it's playing out because maybe that wasn't something that you were able to level up in the game in your last lifetime. And that's okay. Okay, so it's good to know, maybe in another lifetime, if I didn't overcome this challenge or this level of the game, that's because that's what you did what you were meant to do. Okay, you are always where you're meant to be. There is never anything that's wrong. This is all just an experience and a journey. Okay, so there was someone that I was talking to a while back, and there was a little bit of romantic interest. Like there was a pull towards this person for some reason. And I remember doing energy work on this person, and I remember asking this person, like, hey, I'm seeing in your field, in your chakras, in your past life stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, I do energy work and past life stuff. I was like, I see that you were abducted in another lifetime. And this person was like, yeah, actually another psychic told me that. So that was like a synchronicity. And for a moment I was like, oh crap, was I the one that abducted, was I the one that abducted, we'll call this person Austin. Was I the one that abducted Austin? And so therefore I kind of was like, oh, I don't really want to know more. I don't want to know more. But then we found out that I was Austin's mother in a past life, and that I was the one that had my child abducted. And I remember in that lifetime, I was worried that I would be forgotten, that I wouldn't be recognized, and I felt a lot of abandonment in that lifetime. And that kind of played out in this lifetime too, where it was like, oh, like, is this person gonna recognize me on a soul level? Like, I just really want them to want me too, kind of thing. And so it played out again so that I could face how I felt and be able to unlock to the next level. And I did, and it took a lot of layers to be able to get there. And then the next level ended up being going to, you know, traveling and focusing on my path and my purpose and being able to attract partners into my life easily. Like, Austin helped me to be able to make that shift when it came to relationships. So another level of the game for me, if you're interested, was when I was stepping into my path and my purpose of being like an energy healer full time. And when I started dating in the new location I'm in now, I started to attract partners who wanted healing from me. So that was a level of the game that helped me to be able to know that I needed to upgrade my energy field. I needed to make a shift so that I attracted partners or potential partners into my life that were able to give love and excitement and joy, and that didn't need healing, that didn't see me as the healer. Like, I would have people come into my life and want me to do psychic readings for them, or like they would get dumped and then need my help and like depend on me as their savior. So I had to do a lot of inner work to be able to level up when it came to my business, but also relationships. So those are just a few examples of levels of the game. Different things that unlock you, that help you to be able to flow to where you're wanting to flow, to where your soul's wanting to go. So I wanted to bring up another example quick. And this is about money and abundancy. Okay, see, it gets good at the end. It's about money and abundancy. So let's say that here you are as a human, and you don't know that your path is to be like a multimillionaire. Okay, not everybody has a blueprint to be a multimillionaire in this lifetime. Let's say that you have the divine template that you are a creative, an entrepreneur, and that you are here to, you know, live your dreams. And let's say some of the levels of the game, or like your shadows that you need to overcome, are not believing in yourself and perhaps compromising yourself and doing what other people tell you to do. Okay, so let's say that on this journey to get to here, you also had a past life where maybe you were really rich and you had a strong ego and you had a strong mask. You wanted everything to be focused on you, and it wasn't about other people, okay? So this level of the game, you are here, you have different levels that are gonna help you to get to here. And here is where you are service to others, you are living your dreams, and the money just happens to come with the dream that you are focused on. Okay, so what do you think the higher self's plan is to get you here? Okay, well, we have this past life that we have to overcome. We have this past life where you had a huge ego, you were full of yourself, you were service to self. Now we're gonna bring in someone into your reality who really reflects that back to you, and you're gonna have to look at that past life version of you, and you're gonna have to do the inner work around it. So that's one way that this unlocking could happen to help you to become more of who you were born to become. Might also have you be born, okay, let's think higher self perspective. We're gonna have you born into not having a lot of money. Okay, but maybe your family is going to achieve and have money later in life. Okay, so you not being born with money, and maybe your parents, maybe your higher self is like, no, actually, parents, no one's gonna have money and no one's gonna have a college education. But here you are, your goal is to overcome poverty consciousness and to be able to believe in your dreams and to become this version of you. Okay, you might be born into a family that isn't spiritual, and maybe you're meant to be like a spiritual teacher of some sort. And so in this situation, you might have become like hidden yourself. You might have been very psychic as a child and you hide who you truly are because your family is like, oh my God, anybody who like hears voices and stuff is crazy. That's what happened to me when I was a little kid, okay? My grandma was schizophrenic. She's a beautiful woman, very spiritually gifted, and her gifts weren't nurtured. And so in my family, we had the fear, like, oh, like, you don't want to end up like grandma. And because I was really psychic as a child, I, went to hiding basically. Within my gifts went into hiding. So that was something that I needed to overcome, was loving myself enough to be able to be all that I am, and to be able to show up, like talk about zodiac stuff and talk about being fully my authentic self and not care about what other people think. Okay, so think about it. Childhood is a great way to set the tone of how the higher self is wanting you to become more of this. So the different challenges that we go through, being born into poverty consciousness, being born into, like not having a lot of money, is something that is going to help you to become stronger, to become more of who you were born to become. It probably doesn't make sense why. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to experience that? Because that's what the soul wants to experience. The soul wants to experience what it's like to not have money, so that you can learn and grow and become strong, and to be able to build up your energy field so that you can know what you are wanting. So for example, when you're poor, then a lot of people who are actually poor that I know have gotten a nice job, been the first to go to college, and have been the ones that are actually abundant now. Like my aunt had nothing, and now she is like, they're like millionaires. So that is something that's also like a thing to note, okay? Now, why would the soul want to experience being poor? Well, going back, I don't think that the soul wants to experience being poor, but I think that this is some family lineage stuff that needs to be cleared, okay? So we experience certain things because we have family lineage stuff that needs to be cleared. Let's say your family was poor and never went to college. I'm not saying that anybody should go to college, but I'm just saying that this was a theme that I noticed when I was little, okay? Because back then it was like, oh, you gotta go to college to actually have money. But that's family lineage. So you on a soul level might be like, yeah, we're gonna overcome this family lineage stuff. It seems like a match to me to be able to get to here, okay? So different scenarios will play out that are going to shape you and form you to be able to have this. And we're always on a journey, so there is no end. That's also a thing to note. But there are things that maybe we want to achieve and accomplish in this lifetime, okay? There's different themes that want to play out. So you might have different things that happen, like, being able to have situations that bring up and test you and challenge you around your ego. Like, are you going to be focused on yourself in this lifetime, or are you going to be focused on others? And it's about really being in your integrity. And the more that you choose your integrity and your authenticity, and you choose love over like a more, like a mask that is ego and fear, then you get to level up. You get to become more of who you were born to become. But anyways, this is just a little bit that I wanted to talk about this. So sending everyone so much love and light. Thank you for watching this video.